Hi everybody, it's Brooke here. We're going to do a beginner session of Pilates today. We have a band that we're going to use and a brick. Now if you don't have a brick, feel free to grab just a thick paperback book. It doesn't need to be as big as this, it could be half the size, just any kind of standard paperback will work. Or if you don't have a book to hand, don't worry about it, just use your body. There are plenty of things that we can do without any equipment. So just kind of go through the motions. I'll kind of cue you whether you have the equipment or not. So we're going to start standing up. Standing at the end of your mat, have a look at your feet. Toes and heels should be in a line, hip width apart. Take a big breath in, reach your arms up overhead. As you breathe out, come up onto your toes. Just growing nice and tall. And reach your arms out to the side, lower your heels down to the mat, drop your chin to your chest, round your spine, and roll yourself all the way down, just hanging over those legs. Nod your head yes, and then shake the head no. Sway your arms side to side, just loosening up your lower back, just kind of sweeping your fingertips across the mat if you can touch the mat. Come back to the center, bend the knees, scoop the abdominals in, and slowly roll yourself back up to standing. So re-stacking one vertebra on top of the other, shoulders on top of the ribs, head comes on top of the shoulders. Then string out of the top of the head. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, come up onto your toes, lift the heels, and lower. Let's just go up and down 5 more times. 4 and 3. Last 2. Holding the last one up, I'm going to turn to the left. Keep the hips facing forward. Just hold your balance as you twist the torso. Inhale back to the center. And exhale, turn to the right. Breathing out. Inhale, come back to the center. Reach your arms out to the side. Lower your heels down. Drop your chin to your chest. Round the spine. And roll yourself down once again. Once you're hanging over your legs, I want you to bend your knees and rest your chest on top of the knees. Get your hips low to the mat so your thighs are parallel to the floor. Place your hands on top of the mat, just kind of flat hands, and then try to straighten your legs out as best you can. One more time, bend the knees, drop the chest down to the knees, getting the hips low, thighs parallel to the floor, hands on the mat, then exhale, straighten up the legs. Trying to keep those hands down as you get the legs completely straight. One last time, bending the knees. Make sure the knees track over your toes so they don't pull in towards each other or out. And then straighten the legs all the way up. Now, bend the knees slightly, hands to the mat, and walk your hands forward, breathing out as you come forward. Now, lower your knees down to the mat so you're on all fours. Slide the shoulders down the back, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, lift your knees up and just hover there, really scooping the abdominals and lift the pelvic floor. Get your deep abdominal connection. And then inhale, lower the knees down. Just fill the lungs. Exhale, again, lift the knees just an inch or so up off the mat, drawing the belly button in. A strong exhale, inhale, lower back down. Last one, breathing out, lift the knees, just barely up off the mat as you hollow those abdominals, lift the pelvic floor, and then come all the way up, lifting the knees, straightening the legs, pressing into your heels, and then pedal through the feet. Right heel down, left heel up, left heel down, right heel up, just kind of cycling side to side for 3, 2, and 1. Now just drop both heels into the mat, walk your hands back to your feet, bend the knees, drop the head, round your spine, and stretch your back, just articulating, forcing every joint to move individually as you roll all the way back up. Shoulders and head come up last. Now you lift your left arm, just the left arm only up to the ceiling, just lengthen out that left side. So try not to lean over to the right. I think you've lost my hand, but you can see what's happening. Just reaching up. Imagine a helium balloon, just pulling me up, almost lifting me up off the floor. Inhale down, right arm reaches. So we're just lengthening the obliques at the side. We're opening up the ribs as you lift that right arm up. And then come back down. One more time. Drop your chin to your chest, round your spine, roll yourself all the way down. We're going to bend the knees, get the hands to the mat, and walk your hands forward, breathing out as you come forward. This time we're going to come down into a low plank. Drop your knees down. So we're on the elbows. Really pressing them out of the way, round out your lower back. Then breathe out, lift the knees up. Inhale, lower the knees back down. Look off the end of the mat. Exhale, knees up. Inhale, knees down. Try to keep your hips in line with your shoulders so we don't pike those hips up too much. Lift and lower. Last 2. Breathing out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. And 1. Lift And then drop the knees down and just hold there. Just kind of point the toes, reach the toes to the end of the mat, tuck your tailbone under, press the mat away, and just hold that low plank, keeping the hips quite close to the floor. Stay down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And sit back onto your heels. Stretch your arms out just into that child pose and rest your head on the mat. Good. All right, drag your hands back. Come back to sitting onto the heels. Lace the fingers behind the back. Lift the arms, lift your chest. And then lace the fingers in front, rounding the shoulders, scooping the abdominals in. Okay, come onto your back and grab your brick or your book, whatever you have. Come all the way down and lift your knees up, lift your feet up. So your knees and feet are in tabletop position, knees above the hips, shins parallel to the floor. Take your brick and slide it between your inner thighs. Try to have the knees on top of that brick or book. So the book is between the muscles of your inner thighs, not the bones of your knees. We're kind of wrapping the knees around the top. As you squeeze that brick, as you squeeze your inner thighs, now if you don't have anything, a book or a brick, just squeeze the inner thighs together. I want you to draw your abdominals in. So imagine a little, like a mattress button in your navel and another one just above the pubic bones. Everything's pulling in through the pelvic floor, through the abdominals. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, and reach your arms to the wall in front of you. Start pumping the arms. Breathing in for 4 beats. Breathe out. 2, 3. Keep squeezing that brick. Keep lifting the pelvic floor. Breathing out. Draw the belly button down. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, and out. Gonna stay here for 4 more breaths. Now, if you want to advance this, you can stretch your legs out. If you want to dial it back, you can drop your head down. Either way, let's go 2 more. Breathe out. 2, 3 for last breath. Breathing in for 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Good. Take the head down. Relax your shoulders. Keep the knees in that tabletop position. Keep the brick between your knees. And then inhale, lower the toes down to the mat. Just tap the toes and exhale, lift the knees back up with that brick between the knees. Think about your rib cage. Take your thumbs to your ribs and just tuck the ribs slightly down towards your hips. Lay your hands across your abdominals. Make sure nothing lifts up into your hands as you lower those toes down and then lift the knees back up. So just go one more time. Inhale as you lower. Exhale to lift. Now take the brick and use it to hug your knees in and just rock side to side. Pop the brick away. We're going to keep the right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg long. Switch the legs. So just really pulling that knee into the chest, keeping your head and shoulders down on the mat. Unless you want to advance this, and then we lift your head and shoulders up. Stay here for 6 and 5. So again, this is your beginner. This is more advanced. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Take the shoulders back, draw the knees in. Now lift the toes up to the ceiling. We're going to stretch into the backs of your legs. Just pull those legs in, circle your feet around both ways, and then point your toes. Hands down along the side. We're going to lower your right leg all the way down to the mat. But to stretch that leg a little longer so the back of the knee is down on the floor. Lower your left leg halfway down. Just open your arms out wide and then just do some small circles with that left leg. Take your fingertips and touch the hip bones. Try to make sure the hips aren't rocking side to side as you circle that leg. Keep the abdominals in tight. Stay there for 3, 2, and 1. Reverse your circles. Let's do 6, 5, 4. Now, if you want to advance this, you can curl the head and shoulders up. You feel more abdominals engaging as the head and shoulders come up. You can also lift that lower leg. Last 2 and 1. Drop the shoulders, pull both knees into your chest, and take a deep breath in. Good. Let's change sides. So toes up to the ceiling, hands along your side. We're going to lower the left leg down. Again, stretch that leg out, get the back of the knee down to the mat. Right leg comes halfway down, hands on your hips, belly button in, thumbs at the base of your rib cage. So tuck those ribs down towards your hips. Small circles. We'll aim for 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the circles, 6 the other way. So the toes not pointing quite up to the ceiling, not to the wall in front of you. It's somewhere in between, about a 45-degree angle. Last 2 and 1. Hold there. Now see if you can lift that lower leg up and then pull your knees in. And breathe, rock side to side. Good. All right, lift the knees up to tabletop. Reach your hands wide off the edges of the mat. Glue the shoulders down. I'm going to drop the knees down to the right as you turn your head to the left. And then breathing out, lift the knees back to the center, chin back to the center. Knees drop to the left as the head turns to the right. And exhale, lifting all the way back to that midline. One more time each way. Knees drop. Try to keep your knees together, keep your feet together, keep your shoulders stuck to the mat. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, coming back to that starting position. And we're going to reach your hands to the wall behind you as you stretch your legs out to the wall in front. Breathe in, tuck the knees to the chest. Breathe out, reach the arms, reach the legs. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, reach. So imagine that belly button drawing down as you extend the arms and legs. Don't let things bulge up or lift. Try to engage your deep abdominals. Stay there for 3 and 2. Last one. And then pull the knees into your chest. Lift your head, lift your shoulders so you're curling into a tight little ball. And we're going to roll ourselves up to sitting. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Slide your hands down those legs and wrap around the backs of your ankles, around the backs of the legs. Just pulling that chest down towards the knees. Then inhale, straighten up your back. Float your hands up. Imagine you've got a string coming out of the top of the head. You're going to breathe out around the spine and just roll yourself into 2 clicks back. So you lean slightly back. We're going to turn to the left, open that left arm out. Exhale, inhale back to the center. Turn to the right, reach into the back corner of the room. Inhale, center. Point the toes, squeeze the legs together, twist to the left. And center, twist right. Center. One more time each way, keeping the movement slow, keeping the movement isolated to the upper body. So there's no movement through the feet, no movement through the legs. Hold the next one, arms in front of you, and then reach forward. Just reaching to that wall in front, just stretching over the legs, and then articulate your spine again back into a straight back. Head and shoulders come up last. And then exhale, round the spine again, coming just 2 clicks back, not too low. We're going to cross your right arm over your body, the left arm up to the ear, almost twisting, using that pinky across the thigh to twist a little further. Inhale, change. Left arm crosses the body, right arm goes up to that ear. Inhale, change. Exhale, twist. Again, isolate the movement to your shoulders and your arms. No movement through the feet or the legs. Go one more time each way. Taking that pinky across the knee, twisting a little further. Inhale, change. Exhale, hold. Good. Hands back to the front. Reach forward. Grab your toes. Flex your feet. And pull those toes into your body. If you can't reach your toes, grab your ankles, but still pull those toes in. Good. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to just cross your left foot across your right leg and wrap around that left knee. So right arm around the left knee. Breathe in, sit tall, and then breathe out, look over the shoulder behind you. Change sides. Right leg crosses over the right foot over the left leg, wrapping that left arm around the right knee. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist. Good. Okay, we're going to come back down onto our elbows. And I want you to pull your knees into your chest. Scoop the abdominals in. And we're just going to tap the right toe down. And then that's alternating those toes. Drawing the belly button in, lower back coming down close to the mat. Stay there for 8, 7. Lift up out of the shoulders, chin up. Nice open collarbone. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull both knees in. We're going to exhale, extend the legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, extend. And bend. Stay there for 3. And 2. Last 1. Now either hold here, or if you want a little more chance, we're going to lower the right leg down. Exhale, lift it back up. Inhale, lower your left toe down. Exhale, lift it back up. One more time, each leg. Right leg comes down. Trying to get those legs straight. And lift. Left leg goes down and up. And we pull the knees into the chest. Take a deep breath in. Good. Now we're going to stretch both legs out. And see you lower both legs down. Just 2 clicks. And then exhale, lift. Pull the knees back in. One more time. Extend the legs, hold. So you can lower the legs down just 2 inches. Lift them back up. And then pull the knees into the chest. Now puff up to sitting. And straighten out the back. Pull your shoulders back. And flip over to all fours. Good, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You need to drop your chin, tuck your tailbone, round your spine into a nice big cat stretch. And then lift the head, lift the tailbone, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone. Then come back into a neutral spine, straight back. Slide your right arm and your left leg up. Just tap the hand and foot down to the mat. Up and down for 6, 5, same side each time. 4, 3, 2, hold the last one up. Reach out to the corners of the mat for 6, and in. Last 5, keep the core strong. 4, and 3. Imagine you're wiping off a shelf with that hand. Last 2 feet, foot stays in line with the hip. 1 more as you come back to the midline. Stretch a little longer, and then drop your hand, drop your knee. Take a deep breath, press the mat away, slide your left arm and right leg out. So changing sides, lift and lower 6 times. 5, last 4, 3, 2, holding the last one up, stretching the fingers through the toes, reach out to the corners of the mat, back to the midline, up to the edges of the mat, and back. Hand stays in line with the shoulders, foot in line with the hip. Back stays straight, head stays lifted. Last 2, and back, and 1. Back to this midline, stretch everything a little longer, and then drop your hand, drop your knee. Take a deep breath in. Now take your left hand and thread it through the body. Reach it all the way through, and we're gonna go straight back. So taking that left arm out, reach it up to the ceiling. Same side again, left arm threading through the body, bending your right elbow as you stretch that left arm through. Inhale, take the arm back, reverse the movement, and lift the fingertips up to the ceiling. Let's go one last time on that side. Make sure we have the movement. Keep the hips over your knees, head and shoulder come down to that, press into the back of the arm. Inhale, lift it all the way back up, and then back to all fours 3 times on the other side. So right arm comes through, slide. Imagine somebody's pulling that arm through your body, head and shoulders down onto the mat, press into the back of the hand. Inhale, reverse the movement, lift that hand all the way up to the ceiling. 2 more times, threading through, sliding across, keeping your hips over the knees. Inhale, back up to the ceiling. 1 last time, exhale, tucking through. Inhale, lift it up. Good. Now drop down to your elbows, and we're gonna bend your right knee. Sole of the foot points up to the ceiling. Lift the knee up to hip height. Little pulses up. 8 pulses. 7. Imagine you're stamping footprints on the ceiling. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now just kick the heel into the seat. 8, 7, 6. Like your foot's like a little hammer bashing into your bum. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now point the toe, breathe in, lower the knee down, lift your lower back, breathe out, stretch the leg long. Inhale, bend the knees, zip the core in tight, and lift out lower back. Exhale, extend the legs. Stay there for 3, and reach. Last 2, reach. 1, reach up and hold, and then slowly lower the leg all the way down to the mat. Scoop the core in tight, now tap the foot out, and in, up and over, up and back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull that right knee in, lift your left leg up, bend the knee, flex the foot, little pulses up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Keep the knee in line with little heel kicks, heel to bump. 8, 7, 6, 5. Get a little stretch through the quad, through the front of that leg. 2, and 1. Point the toe, breathe in, lower the knee down, scoop the belly button in, lift the lower back, breathe out, stretch the leg long. Inhale, lower the knee, exhale, stretch the leg. Stay there for 4, and reach. Last 3, 2, reach. Last 1, extend and hold, and then slowly lower that leg down to the mat. Lift the lower back, scoop everything in, and tap out and in. Big movements, up and over, up and back. Toe touches the mat, each side, and then lifts up, tap, lift. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just pull that knee back in, sit back onto your heels, stretch your arms, rest your head. Just coming back into your child pose. I want you to take your right hand to the right edge of the mat, Stack your left hand on top. Reach those hands to the right corner of the room as you sit back into your left heel. And then left hand to the left edge of the mat. Right hand stacks on top. Reach out to the left corner of the room as you sit back into your right heel. Just swing the ribs out to the right side. Come back to the middle and drag your hands back as you roll through your spine. Once you're sitting up, just circle your shoulders 2 times back and 2 times forward. Now flip your position so you come to sitting. Feel free to grab a quick sip of water. We're going to take that brick and place it between your knees. Just give it a little bit of a squeeze. We're going to round the spine, scoop the core in tight, and just hold here. Now float your hands so your fingertips are almost just touching that brick. So I'm just going to turn so you can see what it looks like from the front. So feet are brick distance apart, a little bit of a squeeze. And from here, we're just going to go down an inch, exhale, and up an inch. Tuck and lift. Modification, if you need it, you can hold the backs of the knees. Stay there for 5 and 4. Last 3, 2. Hold the last one. Turn to the right, breathing out. Twist. Inhale back to the center. Turn to the left. Exhale. Inhale back to the center. Twist to the right. And center. And left. And center. One more time each way. Make sure the knees don't move either direction. They just stay in line with the hips. Last one. Back to the center. Hands to the knees. And straighten up the back. Big inhale. As you breathe out, once again, we're going to come back into our C curve. Tilt the pelvis, scoop the belly, round the spine. Turn to your right. Elbows wide, shoulders down, and come down an inch, up an inch. Modification is to hold on to the side of that leg. More advanced, you just make it a little bit bigger. Just come a little lower. Twist a little further. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2. Hold the last one. Squeeze that brick between the knees. Lift your right arm up. Exhale. Inhale, lower down. Left arm goes up overhead. Inhale, lower. 4 more. And down. Get the arm right up to that ear, out of the peripheral vision. Last 2. And down. 1. And down. Hands back to the knees. And again, stretch out your back with big inhale. Breathing out. We tilt, scoop, round the spine. Roll yourself back. Shoulders down. Elbows out. Turn to the left. Come down an inch and up an inch. Keep going. 7 and 6. Last 5. Little squeeze on the break. 4. Shoulders face the hands. 3. Keep the chin up. 2. Let's hold the last one. Twist a touch further. Lift your left arm overhead. Inhale down. Right arm goes up overhead. Inhale down. 4 more. Breathing out as you lift. Get the arm right out of the peripheral vision up to that ear. 3. Last 2 and 1. Good. Take the hands back to the knees and stretch out. Take the brick away and just hold here. Good. Once again, now we're going to round your spine and roll yourself halfway back. I'm going to hold the backs of the knees and lift the feet up. So we're balancing here, holding the backs of the knees. So you can stretch into those legs with that support of those hands, then soften the knees. 2 more times, stretching the backs of the legs as you balance. Bend the knees. Last one. Extend as straight as you can. Bend the knees and then see if you can hold your balance here. Just hold it for 5, 4, 3. If you want to advance, we'll just go down and up. Last 2 and lift. 1. Good. Feet come down to the mat. I'm going to open the knees out. Grab onto your feet. Straighten up the back. So start with a nice straight back. Pull your heels in, maybe grabbing onto your toes, and get the knees down towards the mat. Then slide the feet away from you, so a little bit more open, and fold over your legs. Really drop the elbows into those knees, open out your hips, and drop the knees down. So just to show you what that looks like from the side, rounded spine, pressing those knees down. And then once again, straightening up, pulling everything in, just puffing the chest out. Good. Pull the knees back together. We're going to grab that brick again. Brick comes back between your knees. And we're going to round the spine and roll all the way down to the mat. Come up onto your tiptoes. Lift your heels up. Squeeze the brick tight between the knees. Press your lower back down into the mat. Hold your imprint. Hold your scoop. Breathe into the sides of the ribcage. Expand your ribs out like an umbrella. Really fill the lungs, and then exhale, close that umbrella down as you draw the belly button in, lift your pelvic floor, lower back pressing into the mat. One more inhale to hold, expanding to the sides of the rib cage. And then as you exhale, press the lower back deeper into the mat, draw the belly button in a little tighter, lift the pelvic floor a little higher. Now we're going to inhale just to hold one last time. And with our next exhale, peel the spine all the way up, coming all the way up into a nice high shoulder bridge. Right up on those tiptoes. Walk your hands a little closer towards your feet. Maybe walk your toes an inch further back in towards your body. Squeeze the brick tight. Inhale, lower the hips down. Exhale, lift. Breathe in and out. Now, if you feel like you're going to cramp into your lower leg by staying on those toes, feel free to drop the heels and just stay on flat feet. Stay there 5 more. Narrowing the waist with each lift. 4. Last 3. 2. Hold the last one up. Now I'm going to breathe and reach the arms all the way behind you. Backs the hands touch the floor. Lift the hips a touch higher. Squeeze the brick a little tighter. And then drop your rib cage down first. Roll through your middle back second. One vertebra at a time through your lower back. And then the hip bones and tailbone come down last. Drop your heels down and then take your hands. Once the spine stops moving, then the arms come down to your sides. Now, if you happen to have a band, grab it now. But again, it's not absolutely essential. We're going to have the feet flat on the mat this time. A little squeeze on that brick. Breathe out. Lift the hips up. Band is over your hip bones, just adding a little bit of extra resistance. As you lift, squeeze, and lower. Stay there for 4. And 3, narrow waist, last 2, and hold this one up. Now lift that band up, fingertips pointing to the ceiling, and stretch the band as you drop your elbows down to the mat. Inhale, lift the arms back up. Stretch the band, elbows come down. Now if you don't have a band, just imagine you're holding a heavy barbell. So adding that imaginary resistance. As you lift those arms up, straight arms, bend the elbows, little squeeze on that brick, squeeze the glutes, don't let the lower body go as we focus on the upper body. Last 2, and lift. 1, up and hold, and then again, breathe and reach the arms all the way behind you, and breathe out, drop your rib cage, roll through the middle back, 1 vertebra at a time through that lower back, and then all the way down. Let's leave the band behind, take the brick away. Let's give those legs a little bit of a stretch, so lift the toes up to the ceiling, circle your ankles both ways. Good, then take feet back down to the mat, so no equipment with this one. Knees are hip width apart, feet flat on the mat, feet directly beneath your knees. We're going to exhale, lift the hips all the way up. Now imagine a belt tight around your middle, just narrowing the waist, tuck your tailbone slightly up towards your knees, button your ribs towards your hips, zipping the abdominals in tight, and pull your knees in towards each other, just holding there. Hands down on the mat, we're going to lift your right knee up. So transfer the weight to your left foot so you can float your right knee up. Now just lower the hips down, breathe out, lift them back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Stay there for 5. Imagine a string, just pulling that knee up to the ceiling so the knee stays above the hip. Last 3, exhale with each lift. 2, lift. Last 1, up and hold. Drop the right foot, get the hips a touch higher, check your shoulders are relaxed and down away from the ears. Transfer the weight into your right foot so we can lift the left knee up. Again, we're going to do 8. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Good, stay there for 6. And 5, knee over the hip, shin parallel to the floor. Last 3, and 2. Hold the last one up. Drop that foot down. And 1 last time. Just drop both hips down. Lift, lower, and lift for 4, 3. Squeezing the glutes, wrapping the core muscles around your waist. Last 2. Up and hold. Now holding the high shoulder bridge. Press into your hands. I'm going to lift your right hip and then your left. So we're pivoting the hip, right, the pelvis, right, left. Lift the hip bones up to the ceiling. So squeeze the right glute and then your left. Stay here for 6, 5, 4. So that pelvis is like a rock. Roll everything down to sitting once again. Inhale, straighten up the back. Good. Now I want you to come onto your side and have your knees stacked. Your hand is directly beneath your shoulder, so that arm is perpendicular to the floor. We're gonna breathe out, lift the hips up, reach the arm over your head. Inhale, drop the hips down. Let's actually extend that top leg, so we have something else to kind of press into as you lift and lower. So the hands and lower. And we're gonna hold this last one up. Make sure you're pressing into the foot, hand comes behind it, and then just twist and lift. Elbow points down to the mat and then up to the ceiling. Press into those fingertips on the mat, press into the foot and the knee. Stay there for 3 and 2. Last 1. Up and hold and lower the hips down. Sweep your knees forward. The hand that was on the mat then reaches up over your head. So we're stretching out that side. Circle your wrist. Good. We're going to change sides. So spin your feet around to the opposite end of the mat. Again, hand directly beneath your shoulder. We're going to start with the knees together, both knees bent. You're going to breathe out, lift, and lower. And lift, and lower. Now let's try to extend that top leg. Continue with the movement. If it feels better with both knees bent, then go ahead and stay there. Whatever motion you prefer. Stay there for 4. So getting that motion you prefer. Stay there for 4. So getting that stretch through the top half of the waist, getting the strengthening through the lower part of the waist. Imagine something, a sling pulling you up. Last one, up and hold. Now hand comes behind the head. Twist the torso, elbow points to the mat, and then up to the ceiling. Turn that elbow down and up. Keep the shoulder directly over the hand. Press into your fingertips. Middle finger should be pointing to the end of your mat. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. Last one, twist and lift. Now reach the arm up and slowly, gently drop your hips down. Take your knees forward. Arm that was on the mat reaches up overhead, and we circle that wrist. Good. Okay, so changing sides again. We're just going to stretch your body nice and long through the middle of your mat. Lift both feet up off the mat. Draw the abdominals in. Find your balance point on that hip bone. If you need to modify this, you can just keep the feet down and maybe slightly forward. If you find that it grinds too much onto that bone, we're going to lift the top leg and circle the top leg. So this is your level 1 with that lower foot pointing to the front corner of the mat, lower foot on the mat. Level 2, your feet are in line with your hips, and we're circling from here. Stay there for 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the circles. Let's do 6 the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Scissored legs. 6, 5. Both legs moving, reaching to the ends of the mat. No bend in your knee. Legs are locked out. Last 3, 2, 1. Legs come back together. Zip the inner thighs together. Really stretch at the top of the head and lift the top leg up and down. Again, you're level 2. We're hovering the lower leg. You're a beginner. You just can rest that lower leg down on the mat. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Drop both legs down. Slide your top knee forward. Take this hand and circle it all the way around your body. One more big circle. Reverse your circles, 2 circles the other way. The lower arm can either just be reaching to the corner of your mat or be down here on the knee. Just gonna keep it out of the way. Last one. Good. And then just look over that shoulder. Try to connect the back of the hand to the floor behind you. And then lift the arm up to the ceiling, down to the front. Change sides again. You just spin yourself around on the mat. Again, we're going to start in that nice long line. So ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles, everything's in a line. Zip the core in tight. We're going to lift both feet up off the mat. Lift the top leg a little further, and then small circles with that top leg. Again, your modified position is to have the feet to the front corner. 3, 2, and 1. Little squeeze on the glutes. Reverse the circle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now scissor both legs. If you have that modified position with the lower leg down on the mat, you're going to have to lift it up now so there's less friction with the mat. Both legs are straight, no bend in your knees as you sweep them to the edges of the mat. Think about a pendulum swinging. So legs go equally forward as they go back. So there for 3, 2, 1. Come back to the center. Lift the top leg up. 8. Option to hug. Drop that lower leg down to the mat. Keep your neck relaxed. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Shoulder blades together behind your back. Last 3, 2, and 1. Drop the feet down. Slide your top knee forward. Circle that arm all the way around your body. Again, that lower arm is reaching to the front corner of the mat or on top of the knee, whichever feels more comfortable. Reverse your circles. Let's go 2 the other way. Over the shoulder. And last one. With that last one, just reach the back of the hand to the floor behind you, looking over that shoulder. So that back arm is reaching to the back wall. And then close it like a book. Lift the arm up to the ceiling and then right in front of you. Pull your knees back together and we're going to come up to sitting. Good. So we're going to focus on our upper body for a moment. I'm going to sit ideally with your legs crossed and your back straight, but if you're not comfortable or if you struggle to maintain a straight back with your legs crossed, you can actually use your book. You can always pop that underneath you for a little bit more height, or you can extend your legs out or heels together, whatever helps you maintain a nice long spine. Grab your band if you have it. Sit on the middle of the band. Now, if you don't have a band, don't worry about it. You'll still get some workout on these muscles, even without bands. But if you do have the band, we just hold equal lengths either side. Just make sure it's not too tight on one side or any more tight on one side than the other. We just do small circles back. If you don't have that band, we just really squeeze the muscles. Imagine you're holding really heavy weights. Stay there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the circles. 1, 2. Keep the leg through the top of the head. Keep wrapping the muscles around your middle. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Still holding the band. Exhale, lift the arms up to your ears. Inhale down. So again, if you don't have weights or if you don't have that band, imagine we're kind of compressing the air, pressing it down. Again, lifting a heavy weight, dropping it back down. If you have that band though, just lift and lower for 4. Your shoulders out, release any tension, roll them forward. Now hold your band a little closer to your hips. You've got a little bit of a tail end, so you're holding it closer to the hips, shortening the band. Elbows in close to your ribcage, roll the knuckles up at the ceiling, and then reach the arms out to a wide V. Inhale back down. So like you're offering up a heavy tray. Keep your collarbone nice and wide. Keep your neck long. Exhale. Inhale if you don't have that band. Again, just work on that mobility. Imagine we're lifting that heavy tray, pulling it back in. Focusing on the corset control, core muscles pulling in tight, pelvic floor lifting. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Elbows come into the sides of the ribs. Open the arms out and back. Elbows stay stuck to the ribs. If you don't have that band, again, just work on mobility. Think about your shoulder blades pulling together behind your back. And the elbows zipped in tight. Stay there 4 more. 3, 2. That brick, if you're using a brick to sit a little higher, just take the band out from under your hips. And stretch the legs out in front of you. Just jiggle those legs a little bit. Exhale, pull the elbows back and forward. Stay there for 4 and 3. Now, if you don't have that band, again, we just go through the motion, squeezing the shoulder blades together behind your back, reaching through the crown of the head, narrowing the waist, lifting the pelvic floor. Last 2. Hold the last one. Let's sit a little taller. Reach the arms to the front, turn your palms down, and then now circle the elbows up, over, back, and around. So more of a rowing motion. Stay there for 6. 1, reverse your circle. 6 the other way. 5. Tilt the pelvis so your pubic bone is a little heavier on the mat. And then lift your arms, lift the head, lift your chest. Inhale, lower everything back down. So imagine you're wearing a neck brace, so your ears and your shoulders stay in one line. The fingertips are slightly higher than your elbows. So again, the motion of the arms is mirroring that motion of your upper body. So the fingertips stay in line with the ears, elbows in line with the rib cage. Last 2 and down. Hold this one up. Now reach the arms out Turn your thumbs up to the ceiling so the arms are reaching to the corners of the room, and then inhale, lower back down. Now let's drag the pinkies back as you just lift the chest. The arms stay on the mat. Slide the pinkies forward. Again, pull the pinkies back. Thumbs point up to the ceiling and slide forward. Now let's try to lift the arms up. Still reach into those corners of the room, to the corners of your mat. Stay there for 4. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. If you need to modify, come back to what we were just doing with the hands on the mat. 2 more, lift and lower. Last one, up and down. Now we're gonna stack our hands one on top of the other. Rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Draw the belly button in tight and lift the chest from here for 4. 3, feet stay on the mat. Last 2 and 1. Now we're gonna add the legs. So we're gonna draw your heels together, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze your glutes, tilt your pelvis so the tailbone reaches a little further towards your heels to lengthen out your lower back, and then lift the head, lift the legs, inhale down, lift and lower. Stay there for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Now drop the upper body down. Take your hands back along your sides, back so the hands touch the floor. Separate your feet to hip width apart. Keep the feet on the mat. Just lift the chest. Turn your pinkies up to the ceiling. Pinch your shoulder blades together. Look down at your mat, lengthening the back of the neck. And then inhale, lower the chest, lower the hands. Exhale, lift and lower. Now, if you want to advance this, let's add the legs as well. Toes pointing to the corners of the mat, or just a little bit wider than hip width. Stay there for 4 and 3. Belly button zipped in tight. Last 2 and 1. Lower everything down. Hands under the shoulders. Sit back onto your heels. Toes together. Knees apart. And just have a good stretch here. Good. Okay, we're going to come to all fours. Now I want you to step your left foot through your hands and drop your hips forward. Take your hands up to that knee and just kind of lean forward onto that hip. So we feel a stretch to the front of your right hip. Now turn you towards that knee, so your right elbow's on the outside of your left knee, and look over your left shoulders. It's a classic yoga pose. Hands are together, turning, twisting to the left, and then untwist. Take your hands back down to the mat. Drop your knee, your hands back to straighten up the front leg. See how much you can just pull those hips back, almost like you're dragging your heel back, getting that stretch, the hamstring on that front leg, just leaning forward over that leg as much as possible. Now the next one, we lift the back foot, shift your weight forward, and come up onto that knee again with that back foot up. Now if you can reach that right hand to that right foot without cramping, without forcing anything, go ahead and try that, maybe leaning forward. But if it doesn't feel good, just stay here or here. Okay, let's change sides. Turn your elbow to the outside of the knee, look over the shoulder. Breathe in, hands either side of the foot. Step your foot right to the middle of your hands. Turn your knee out to the side, come to the outer edge of that right foot, then elbows out to the sides as you drop your chest down towards the mat. Add a little bit of movement side to side. Again, don't force anything if you don't feel, it doesn't feel right through your knee. Feel free to just modify that one or skip it. Walk your hand, feel that stretch through the hamstring, classic runner stretch. And then option to just float your back foot up as you come up onto that front. Wrap the band around your right foot, left leg upwards. You can do very quick inner thigh stretch. Dropping the leg out to the side. Keeping pelvis leg over the body. Keep the hip down. Big inhale and exhale. Just let it go. Come back to the midline. A little bit of a pull through the midline. And then both feet into your band. Lift your head and roll yourself up. Slowly letting the feet come down to the floor. Folding over the legs. Take the band away. Roll yourself over. Drop your chin, tuck your tailbone around at your lower back. Tuck the toes, lift the knees up, press into the heels, lift the tailbone up to the ceiling, and then walk your hands back to your feet. Wrap around the backs of the legs, draw the chest to the knees, nod your head, just let the weight of that head lengthen your neck. Shake the head side to side. Soften your knees and slowly roll yourself up like a rag doll. Just restacking one vertebra on top of the other, shoulders on top of the ribs, head on top of the shoulders, arms up overhead. Finish with a bounce, reaching through the fingertips, narrowing the waist, and then arms out to the side. Swing the arms as you bend the knees. Good. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that session. We're back tomorrow morning with our morning Pilates, kind of an all levels Pilates, and we've got another beginner session tomorrow afternoon at 5:30. Thanks. See you soon.